Will I pay my dues affiliated to this paper? I need freedom for my family line. Draw my life design up like fine art. I'm jumping out just an unfamiliar coordinate. Topped off the porch like I could touch the sky. Red, it's not one trip. The ism talk the water out your faucet. Look at me flossing. I'm so wavy, I could change the tide. My intuition sense the hatred in your ways. You imitated, forging lines, claim meaning means that's just to justify. Yeah, right. West side, born maritime. Creole baby, my bloodline. My lungs clouded, my thoughts crowded. Say all I see is these dollar signs. Finna make a play and that sound delay. On mamas, I testify. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Game recognized game. I'm from the Bay, okay, I'm versatile and my slang is different. I'm lane switching with the same people that I came up in this thing with. My head swivel, I'm homebound, got a target back on my backside. The cat peeling with the cast iron, better run for it, run before I catch you. Niggas out ball it, block it, trying to stop my blessing. Gamble with your life, don't bet it, don't bet it. They can't stop my blessing, you do best not to test it. Yeah, you right, real all in my blood supply. To get ball up top, finna make a play. I cast a lob like I'm Jalen, baby. No co-signer, no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign. If I say it twice, then I meant it right. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign. You no co-signer, no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you can hear me okay and everything looks good on the screen, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you cannot hear me or things are looking and sounding bad, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. And while you guys are doing that, I am going to shout out everybody who is in the building early. All right. Shout out to Volvo2 Love. What's good with it? Good to see you as always. Shout out to Catsy. Make sure y'all show Catsy some love. As you guys can see, Catsy has been standing on business for longer than 21 months, but make sure y'all show her love for the 21 months that YouTube is giving her credit for. Standing on business. That's what's good. Definitely appreciate you.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Shout out to my man AW1. What's good with it, bro? Good to see you as always. Shout out to my man AB Promotions. What's good with it, bro? It is good to see each and every one of you. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Got some more live streams popping off later on today, hopefully. All right, so make sure that you're subbed up. All right, we are going to talk about this situation with this quote-unquote incoming alleged Bitcoin Omega candlestick. All right, how many people have heard about the quote-unquote coming Bitcoin Omega candlestick? What is an Omega candlestick? All right, not something that Jack could jump over very easily, right? So let's actually get into this. All right, Omega candle is the next step for Bitcoin, says Bitcoin veteran Samson Mao. Here's what he means. All right. So this is very important. Now, before we get into quote unquote, here's what he means, let me ask everybody this question. Yeah, I heard about that. Shout out to Kathy. I actually just saw some stuff about that. China hacking the U.S. Treasury. Speaking of, you know what I'm saying? China didn't hack Bitcoin, though, right? They didn't hack the Bitcoin blockchain, but they did hack the U.S. Treasury, right? So, you know, there's that, right? Let me ask you guys this question. How do people feel about the market today? What's your feelings about the market? If you ask me, today is a good day. Why is today a good day? Today is a good day because people like us are trying to accumulate. We are trying to monopolize. We're trying to amass influence within these networks, right? When the price is down and you can buy a piece of the network, that's always a good thing because it makes it easier to attain. And this is why I asked that question earlier about which Bitcoin has more appeal. There is no correct answer to that question, right? But you should understand the question, right? To somebody that's looking to accumulate Bitcoin, lower prices are better. So for someone looking to accumulate Bitcoin, a $92,000 Bitcoin is far more valuable and has far more utility than a $100,000 Bitcoin because the people looking to accumulate are not looking to sell. They're looking to buy. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to my man DSB. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure you guys show DSB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man DSB, funding the organization and growing the organization. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to my man AB Promotions. Make sure you guys show AB Promotions some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man AB Promotions for standing on business for 15 months. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Definitely appreciate y'all. All right. So this is why I asked that question, because I'm asking that question to ask everybody, which one are you? Well, if you ask me, we're both. We're a mix of both. We would like to see Bitcoin appreciate to its maximum value because that would help us appreciate our wealth to its maximum value, right? But at the same time, we also want to accumulate as much as we can. So during times of accumulation, a little discount wouldn't hurt nobody, right? So what you have to do is you have to be very self-aware of what the current situation is driving your interest at that moment, okay? At this current moment, if I'm not mistaken, with the supply crunch going on, right, we are in accumulation mode. Now, how often is it that you're fortunate enough to deal with a supply crunch with the item that is in demand having a discount? How often do you get to see that happen? It doesn't happen very often. So you got to understand what side of this thing that you're on, right? You got to understand what side of this thing that you're on. Now, again, we know all the people that are buying up massive amounts of Bitcoin, right? Who are these people that are buying all this Bitcoin? Who are they? Give me some names. We got Michael Saylor, right? We got Kathy Woods, right? United States government, El Salvador, all these different places buying up massive amounts of Bitcoin. If you're buying right now for the discount for the future premium, right? So you want to buy right now for the future premium. The idea is to buy today to be able to have possession of it during the 10, 100, and 1000x periods. That's the idea, the time value of money. And like I said before, the time value of money operates differently than the time value of Bitcoin. It's very different. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dwayne Rhodes. I appreciate you, bro. Dwayne Rhodes says, good afternoon, BLR and chat. Good afternoon to you, bro. Make sure you guys show Dwayne Rhodes some love, throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man, Dwayne Rhodes, for funding the organization. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Definitely appreciate it. Now, shout out to Katsy, right? Katsy says, I'm on the side of, I don't have $100,000 to buy one Bitcoin, let alone more than one. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Shout out to the people in the chat. Let Katsy know how she can fix her problem. Because what Katsy is saying in that statement is a perception. It's not an actual problem, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, then give me a thumbs down. So now here it says Omega Candle is the next step for Bitcoin, says Bitcoin veteran Samson Mao. Here's what he means, all right? A veteran of the Bitcoin ecosystem says that Bitcoin is moving into a phase where extreme price impulses to the upside will become normalized. Remember when I told people about these exponential and logarithmic jumps? How long have I been talking about the exponential and logarithmic jumps and the need to use three-dimensional calculations and analytical geometry to be able to calculate accurately how cryptocurrency and Bitcoin moves? I've been saying this forever. You can't just use linear algebra. You can't just use traditional financial models like net present value and internal rate of return. You have to use hyper compounding. You have to use bacterial models. You have to use bacterial growth patterns, parabolas. You can't use AX plus B equals M. You can't do that. You can't use line slope. Okay? In a new interview on the Blocks Reward podcast, Samson Mao says that Bitcoin is almost ready to graduate from printing God candles, which is $10,000 daily moves, to Omega candles, representing $100,000 daily moves. Now look at this, from 10,000 to 100,000. Isn't that a base 10 movement? Isn't that a move to the right of a decimal place? How long have I been saying this? When I tell people I'm good at math, I'm not just good at math. I'm really good at math. This is one of the reasons why I said people need to start implementing natural logarithms. And this is one of the reasons why when it comes to this chart formation and these shape formations in the chart, I've asked Win Loser Rug, shout out to Win Loser Rug, I've asked him, is there any geometry or trigonometry that's implemented into these formulas with sine, cosines, and tangents to see how these triangles, these right triangles, are formed on the charts? Because if you can figure out the trigonometry pattern, or if you can figure out a geometric pattern of how these shapes take place and what the angles mean, that would give you a more multi-dimensional chart behavior watch. We always look at finance from a top-down view. Yet when people talk, they talk about sideways price movements. What is sideways in finance? It's being represented on a two-dimensional graph, but yet it can move in all sides and against many different variables. Also, different patterns can be detected based on different time frames or different start points. Okay? Shout out to Dwayne. Dwayne says, rumors saying Bitcoin will hit 250K by 2026. I believe in crypto because I finally understand compound interest. I did not understand what Einstein was talking about. Out of the matrix. Yeah. Shout out to Crew Reality. What's good with it, bro? Okay. So this is what I've literally, if you go back and watch all of the videos that I've ever done about crypto, or where I've ever mentioned crypto, I've been talking about this stuff. I've been talking about how when it comes to crypto, people should look at the way that crypto moves like a red shift or a blue shift, right? Crypto moves like a blue shift. High volatility on the ultraviolet, blue side of the light things, right? The traditional assets move more like a red shift, a more stabilized with a long frequency, like an infrared. But people don't listen. People don't listen. You know what I'm saying? So here we are. We're talking about this base 10 movement that's going to take the God candle to the Omega candle, right? Type 10 Kardashev candle, right? The world's going to change. After $100,000, I think everything starts to accelerate and go faster. So if we're talking about acceleration, and then, you know, shout out to Dwayne Rhodes bringing up Einstein. This is what I'm talking about. Michael Saylor is an engineer. It's one of the reasons why he can see this stuff so clearly. He's an engineer. You know what I'm saying? So post 100,000, we're not going to be watching $500 candles. A $1,000 candle is already kind of normal in one day in terms of volatility. And I think the next step from that is the 10,000 and 100,000. We almost had a God candle a couple weeks ago. I think we went up $9,000 on the day, but $100,000 is the next step once we start to go well into the higher ranges of Bitcoin. All right. So now if this is the case and we're going to start seeing these daily swings, what should people be doing anytime they see the price down? What should they be doing anytime they see the price down? And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not hit that bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. Yeah, facts. If you guys agree with AB, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Again, when it comes to this stuff, it's opposite of the traffic. I try to make this stuff as easy as possible. Treat this stuff opposite of the traffic. When it comes to this, red means go, green means stop. Red means go, green means stop. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. But it just goes to show you the fiat system does not really make sense anymore because an Omega candle is nothing in terms of fiat money. Like the debt increases by a couple of Omega candles every day. Many Omega candles each day, but no one blinks an eye for that. Okay? There's this disconnect between the fiat monetary system where that's normalized. It's growing very fast at ridiculous rates, but it's normal. But when you talk about Bitcoin, people are like, whoa, that's crazy, but it's not at all. So the Omega candle is just a big move up in Bitcoin price, okay? And the interesting thing is we already see Omega candles in countries with weaker fiat currencies. Egypt, Turkey, Argentina, even it's normal. Omega candles every day. At the time of writing, Bitcoin is trading at $96,126, and it's even lower than that right now. All right. So, yeah. And the thing is that these Omega candles, they make sense, right? It's not far-fetched. Why do they make sense? Well, it makes sense because Bitcoin is such a large asset. It's huge. Why, if something is close to $100,000 on a normal day, why would you expect it to only go up $1 or $2 a day? That's insane. That doesn't make any sense. That's not to scale. See, you have to scale things up, right? Let me ask you guys this question. What's 10% of a million? What's 10% of a million? Somebody put the number that 10%, the number that is 10% of a million into the chat. Why am I asking that question? I'm asking that question because if you have an asset that's $1 million a pop and you see a 10% increase, we see 10% increases every day, but we see 10% increases on stuff that's $100. So you will see a $10 rise. Nobody looks twice at that. Now, if you hear this asset went up $100,000 in one day, whoa, what is that? Well, the asset is to scale. It's $1 million. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Frozen. Shout out to Carlton. Shout out to Crew. Yeah, $100,000. So when you scale it back like that and you look at the appropriate scale, is that far-fetched? It's not far-fetched at all. It's not far-fetched at all. You know what I'm saying? Bitcoin towards $100,000. Samson Mao predicts the Omega candle era. Okay. Now I wonder how long this video is. Let me take a look at this real quick. Yeah, this video is like 15 minutes long, but we might actually mess around and watch it since they had it on both of these. If you guys want to watch this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, then give me a thumbs down. Bitcoin towards 100K. Samson Mao predicts the Omega Candle era. Samson Mao reveals why Bitcoin's $100,000 milestone could spark explosive growth and lead to quote-unquote hyper-Bitcoinization. And I believe that not only is Bitcoin doing this, right, but there's political motive behind this as well, which is, who cares, right? It's working in our favor, right? So now here it says, as Bitcoin approaches the monumental $100,000 mark, the cryptocurrency world is abuzz with anticipation. In an exclusive interview with Cointelegraph, Samson Mao, a leading Bitcoin advocate and CEO of Jan3, offers a bold outlook on what this benchmark means and what lies ahead. According to Mao, crossing $100,000 is more than just a milestone. It's a launch pad for explosive growth. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people feel that in order to secure a financial future, it might not be a bad idea to have an asset that can have the potential to go up $100,000 or $200,000 per day? Now, mind you, right, if you only have $10,000 of Bitcoin, your Omega candle is going to be $1,000. But who doesn't want to have an asset that goes up as much as a minimum wage paycheck every day? Now, mind you, it can also have an Omega candle on the other end, right, and go the other direction. But this is why you have the money that you're being responsible with in Bitcoin, right? Everybody needs that. And you have to remember, right, for the most part, the supply crunch is already, it's already locked in. It's already locked in. For the most part, all of the Bitcoin they're already bought. If you don't, it's already done. People are just going to be nickel and diming and having Bitcoin shards and Satoshis. And these are the things, that, people will be lucky and come across. But for the most part, it's all bought up already. It's done. It's a wrap. What we're seeing now is that we're just seeing people playing with the market. It's already done. The supply constraint is locked in. Those of us who are not institutional buyers, those of us who are not BlackRock, those of us who are not Fidelity, of us who are not, Grayscale, you're already locked out. Okay. You're already locked out. Post 100,000, that's when things start to heat up and accelerate, says Mao. He explains that Bitcoin's growth trajectory could shift dramatically with price movements jumping from thousands to 10,000s daily. And this is what I'm telling you guys about how Bitcoin is a giant asset that moves with the movements of smaller assets. We've seen these kind of jumps before. You know what I'm saying? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. And this is one of the reasons why I tell people, get your Bitcoin, don't touch it, put it on crypto.com and get that APY that they offer, because that small amount of interest is going to be big. You know what I'm saying? You'll start to go up by $10,000 a day or drop by $10,000 a day. And this is the God candle. After that, we'll start to see Omega candles, which are $100,000 increments daily. And by the time our grandkids are using our Bitcoin trusts to sustain their lifestyle, hopefully they decide to do good things with it, right? We'll be seeing candles that we've never seen before. They're going to have to start implementing different ways into calculating money movements using physics models, thermodynamics models, acceleration, deceleration. Mao also highlights the global factors driving Bitcoin's rise, including the erosion of trust in the traditional financial systems. He describes hyper-Bitcoinization as a scenario where Bitcoin replaces fiat currencies entirely. Now, again, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to go that far. I do think that fiat currencies will always have a place. However, I do see Bitcoin having surpassed fiat currencies in standardized interest. I don't think that fiat currencies will be competing with Bitcoin per se. I think fiat currencies are going to turn into more like a loyalty program, because at a certain point, using Bitcoin for regular transactions, because of what Bitcoin has evolved into, I could see it being somewhat inefficient. I can see it being somewhat inefficient. Now, mind you, that's not a problem of Bitcoin, right? That's just the use case and what it's being used for, as people find new uses for it, and as people take it off the market, right? It's the point at which we no longer need to convert Bitcoin back to fiat currencies like the dollar or yen. Most importantly, everyone only wants Bitcoin, said Mao. He connects the shift to systemic issues like spiraling global debt, which we're going to be talking about that very soon. Okay. US debt is spiraling out of control. Right now we are at $36 trillion. Back when your grandparents were going out to party, they were paying 15 cents for a hamburger. But now you're $36 trillion in debt. Now, conceptualize that, right? What does that look like? What does $36 trillion look like? And what is the likelihood of being able to pay that back in any foreseeable time frame? Also, what is that doing to the fiat currency that's attached to that debt? What is that doing? Institutional players like MicroStrategy and spot Bitcoin ETF buyers are also key drivers, according to Mao. MicroStrategy adds gasoline on that fire by creating this Bitcoin reactor where they can take corporate debt and equity and convert that to Bitcoin price at a much higher multiple in the future. And this is what I'm talking about having that spatial understanding of the time value of money. I've talked about the time value of money so often. How many people have ever used a financial calculator? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen some love. We finna hit them goals. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Brooklyn Queen for funding the organization. Brooklyn Queen said, Sailor did say there's a place for fiat. Yeah, he said, people who use fiat, we call them poor.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
But thank you for your fiat. I don't turn down fiat. You know what I'm saying? I don't turn down fiat. Now, does that make me a hypocrite? You know what I'm saying? You can't send a Bitcoin through YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You can't send a Bitcoin through YouTube. I used to have my wallet address at the end, though, when they had the about page back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have that no more. So, So let's check this out real quick. We're gonna watch this video, man, because like I said, we got time. We got time today, right? We got time today. And we're gonna be live a little bit later on too, talking about some other stuff. More than likely not crypto.
Post 100K, that's when things start to heat up and it starts to accelerate. I think 2025 is going to be the year of the Omega candle and the year of 1 million Bitcoin. Does Bitcoin prolong the life of the dollar or does it kill it?
We are approaching the 100K for Bitcoin. Right now, we saw like a slight pullback from the all-time high, but I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get back there. By the time we will publish the video, probably we might have already reached the 100K. So what do you think is the significance of this benchmark for Bitcoin?
Yeah, so 100,000 or 0.1 M, it's sort of a psychological barrier, much in the same way as 10,000 was a barrier, and 1,000 was a barrier, and 100 was a barrier. So I think once we pass 100,000, it's just smooth sailing up to 1 million. And it shows that Bitcoin has that growth potential. So once you cross that threshold into the 100,000 range, I think it's going to first accelerate. So Bitcoin's growth trajectory is not going to be, growing at 1,000 every couple of days or dropping by 1,000, but it'll start to go up by 10,000 a day or drop by 10,000 a day. And this is the God candle. And after that, we'll start to see Omega candles, which are 100,000 increments daily. So post 100K, that's when things start to heat up and it starts to accelerate. You're further along that steep exponential growth curve.
And now let's get to the potential catalyst that could spark.
Now, I want you guys to pay very close attention, right? Do you hear the terminology that they're using, talking about the quote unquote exponential growth curve and all of this stuff? I've been saying this for so long. This is some of the stuff that frustrates me. I've been saying this stuff for so long. Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media.
Spark, that's sort of a massive growth that you are talking about. Can you just briefly explain what hyper Bitcoinization is and why we may be near to that scenario?
We are very near hyper Bitcoinization. So the definition hyper Bitcoinization is a parallel of sorts to hyperinflation. It's the point at which we no longer need to convert Bitcoin back to fiat currencies like the dollar or yen, simply because there's no need to. Everyone is using Bitcoin, and most importantly, everyone only wants Bitcoin. So with money, it's typically a zero-sum game. You don't really want an inferior money unless there's a direct need for it. But generally, people want to keep their savings or store value, if they're using fiat currencies, in the strongest vehicle of fiat currencies, which typically right now is the US dollar. But hyper-Bitcoinization will just be the point at which Bitcoin replaces the dollar, and nobody wants to take the dollar anymore. They want sats for payment.
And why do you think are we so close to that sort of scenario?
Well, there's a number of factors. The current legacy system is failing. If you look at the fracturing of solidarity of the US dollar, you can see the BRICS countries are starting to migrate away. More trade is being done with the Chinese yuan.
Now, shout out to Dwayne, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was Dwayne 2 live streams ago when Dwayne was asking about BRICS, right? If I'm right about that, Dwayne, let me know. Here you go, bro. Somebody just threw a brick at you. Watch your head.
And most importantly, you can see the US debt is spiraling out of control. We are at $36 trillion right now. Back when your grandparents were, going out to party, they were paying 15 cents for a hamburger. But now you're $36 trillion in debt. So there's a very big problem right now, and most people don't recognize the scale of that problem, but that debt is unlikely to be paid off. Even with Doge or Department of Government Efficiency, there's only so much you can do to trim the fat and to optimize and cost cut. But I think ultimately it's not going to have much effect because the spending is still there. And more importantly, the interest on that debt is compounding. And interest is a miracle. It's a miracle if you're in the black, but it's the opposite of a miracle, or it's a big curse when you're in the red.
There is one company, MicroStrategy, which is sort of leading the path on this. What is the significance of MicroStrategy in the process of hyper-Bitcoinization?
Well, the biggest thing that MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor is doing is that they are creating demand for Bitcoin. So I view the ETFs as a legitimization of Bitcoin as an asset class. And they are also a major source of demand. Demand for Bitcoin from the ETFs alone is multiples each day of supply. But MicroStrategy sort of adds gasoline on that fire by creating this Bitcoin reactor, which they can take corporate debt and corporate equity and convert that to Bitcoin, price at a much higher multiple in the future, and effectively pay zero interest rate for that. So they're sort of an accelerant on this fire that's already burning for Bitcoin.
The accelerant. I want you guys to I want you to pay very close attention, right? Do you hear these people use a lot of the terminology that I use? If you guys notice, when I'm listening to these videos, they use a lot of the terminology that Robb uses. Why? My question for you all is, why do you think that is? There has to be a reason. When you see a similarity, or when you see something in common, or you notice a pattern, in my opinion, it's most optimal to try to understand, first and foremost, if it's a pattern. Second of all, why there's the pattern there. Third of all, what that pattern means for the future perpetuation of that pattern. What does that mean?
And I guess they are also sort of giving an example to what nation states could do. They are running at a company level what certain nation states could do on a state level. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct. But I believe nation state path is also going to follow the same model, both as a reserve asset, but also as a MicroStrategy type play. And I view the Bitcoin bonds that I helped to architect as this sort of MicroStrategy
Shout out to Dwayne Rhodes. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show Dwayne Rhodes some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Dwayne Rhodes for funding the XRP Strategic Reserve, the Solana Tuna Fish Can, and the BLR Bitcoin Reserve. Dwayne Rhodes says, yep, I thanks for remembering and taking notes. Bro, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm one of those people that grew up in the era where it was looked down upon to write things down. You know what I'm saying? You had to memorize everything. You know what I'm saying? You guys remember that when people used to have to memorize phone numbers and addresses? People can't even remember a 5-digit sequence of numbers anymore. I want you guys to pay very close attention to the atrophy of the human brain. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
You play for nation states. And we do see more and more interest coming back to Bitcoin bonds because it makes perfect sense to issue sovereign debt, which is superior in many ways.
Now, you hear him talking about the Bitcoin bonds, right? You guys remember yesterday I told you all what you're going to start seeing is you're going to start seeing these organizations take their Bitcoin equity and they're what's happening right now is cut it. That's what Michael Saylor is doing. He's cutting it. He's cutting the Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? He's booting the Bitcoin up. He's taking a brick of Bitcoin raw and booting it up. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, he's injecting it with fiat currency or he's injecting it with debt equity. So he's basically getting the raw and using a volume expander, right? This is what I'm saying. This is what people do with the dope. They getting some uncut dog food and then they booting it up with heroin. He's getting some uncut Bitcoin and now he's booting it up with either fiat currency, a fiat currency on a ratio asset, or booting it up with a debt vehicle. One of the two. This happens all over the place. It's called volumizing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Catsy. Definitely appreciate you, Catsy. Make sure you all show Catsy some love. Please throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Catsy. And man, make sure y'all hide your dog coins and hide your cat coins.
Don't push me, ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the. Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is cough it up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. Gone overseas where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there. It's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing in the where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he took with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines. I'm mad, and my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And then got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
Shout out to Catsy. Definitely appreciate it, Catsy. Shout out to AW1. AW1 says, yo, Rob, I hope that you do more videos with Torian next year. Yeah, bro, I hope to do that and do a lot of stuff next year. But I'm going to tell you something, though. I might be kind of hard to find if crypto go the right way. I ain't even going to lie. It might be kind of hard to find. You know what I'm saying? I might be kind of hard to find. I'm just saying.
To corporate debt to acquire Bitcoin for a strategic reserve or to build a mining operation. Right now, I would say the nation-state Bitcoin developments are very much centered on the U.S., especially with the election of Trump once again.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people don't think that it would be a bad idea to take $100 right now, put it into Bitcoin, put it on crypto.com, and just keep restaking it for your kids' future. Omega level candles, right? Shout out to my man KO Kid Fit, bro. Them candlesticks about to take Bitcoin all up and through there, bro. Them Omega level candles about to take Bitcoin all up and through there, bro.
And the talk of creation of this Bitcoin strategic reserve in the US. So I think this is a catalyst for more
If
change.
you ask me, again, these Bitcoin strategic reserves, this is something that I've always supported. This is something that I've always done for myself. And if you ask me, there is no better way. Like this, remember how people, like your grandparents used to have some savings bonds and they'll be like, oh, I bought you these T-bills and you know what I'm saying? They got no interest, but it was the thought that counted. But back then people thought that they were making money, right? If you ask me, if you are somebody who has a family or thinking about starting a family, right now is the perfect time. The nest egg looks different in 2024 than it did in 1960. You can build your future generations a perfect nest egg with cryptocurrency that will reap them unlimited future income with a very small investment right now. A very small investment right now could have your great grandkids with private island money. I just don't understand why people wouldn't do that. I don't understand how people can't see that. To the people who can see that, that's what this is about, right? Buying your Tron Lamborghini and all that. It's fun, and it's fun talking all that. But the idea is to secure something remarkable for your future generations, right? And if you ask me, there is absolutely no time right now with the explosive growth potential to be able to, you can put your kids right into elitehood if you start now. Just imagine if you just bought some Bitcoin and you held it and never touched it. By the time your kids are 18, here goes your Bitcoin. You don't think that people are doing that already? Let me ask you guys this question. How many people think that people are doing that already? You don't think Michael Saylor got a little bit of that Bitcoin for, whatever he plans on doing as far as his succession plan? And this is what I'll be talking about the succession plans. You got to have a succession plan. Shout out to MC Fact. MC Fact says, Rob, do you have a video that explains how to get started in Bitcoin and crypto? Yeah, I would say like some of the older videos on the channel, bro. But any question that you have, anybody, for the most part, in the chat, John, Carlton, AB, Win, Lose, or Rug, DC Precise, Black Free Thinker, Lloyd Scott 9, anybody can answer any question that you have. You know what I'm saying? And the best answers are in the Discord. The best answers are in the Discord. So I would advise everybody to join the Discord. All right. And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. If you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and please share the stream to your social media. Can you imagine the comfort that you'd be able to feel knowing that your child will have 50% less stress to worry about if you start them out as millionaires or billionaires in their journey in life? Could you imagine the feeling of nostalgia for being able to do that for your children, for your future generations? Could you imagine that? That's all it's about, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing.
Change and more adoption of Bitcoin around the world, simply because most people are looking to follow somebody. They don't really want to be the first. El Salvador was the first nation state to really adopt Bitcoin in a meaningful way. But I think it's a small country, and they're not being looked at as the ETFs. The US kind of led the way there.
You know
Everyone
what?
was waiting for
I gotta
approval.
run this back. I caught myself being a misogynist. I named all the bros first, and I completely did not credit Brooklyn Queen for her contribution that she puts in with the information that she drops in her discussions in the Discord as well. My apologies. My apologies. I'm old school. You know what I'm saying? Forgive me.
in the US before they greenlit their own ETFs. And you saw that with the US ETFs coming online and then the Hong Kong ones and then the Australian ones. They're very much watching and waiting. And I think it's the same for meaningful Bitcoin adoption, such as creation of a Bitcoin strategic reserve. But there's already talk at the state level of a few states trying to create it before it's created at the federal level. And I believe this is also prompting more countries around the world to start really sitting down and trying to break down what they need to do and put together a plan.
This idea of creating a strategic reserve is still pretty blurred. Trump mentioned it during the conference back in the summer, but he was just very generic in describing this. Then we had the Bitcoin Act proposed by Senator Loomis, which is a bit more specific, and it's about buying a certain amount of Bitcoin in a certain time frame and essentially hold it for the next, I believe, 20 years or something in order to cover a certain amount of the national debt. What is your view? How that should look like?
Well, it is decently well defined, I think, in the bill, but at a high level, they committed to stop selling any seized Bitcoin that they have, and there is a plan to purchase. Now, the details of that purchase execution is not really set, but I think that is not something that can be decided until once the bill has really been passed. And the timeline has also been more or less outlined. They want to create a reserve of 1 million Bitcoin. I think Bobby Kennedy was talking about 4 million Bitcoin, but 1 million is still attainable, I think, for the US. But it is going to be very expensive simply because of the MicroStrategy Bitcoin reactor consuming so much Bitcoin fuel in the next few months with their deployment of $42 billion. So it remains to be seen at which price the US will buy at and what their average cost will be. But I just know that things are definitely heating up, and it seems like it will happen because it has to happen.
And so what is your time frame for this? When do you expect this bill to be passed into law?
Well, I'm hopeful that it will be passed in the first 100 days because it is a very critical piece of legislation, and it is time is of the essence, simply because as more countries decide to front run the US, then you compound that with ETF demand, and you compound that with MicroStrategy demand.
Now, and you see all these people that are talking about these Bitcoin strategic reserves. This is why I'm saying that as of right now, if you ask me, the entire Bitcoin supply is already, every Bitcoin already has a buyer. Every Bitcoin already has a buyer. Because now when you have people entering the market competing for Bitcoin that are able to buy Bitcoin at the volume that people like us buy meme coins at, and there's only 21 million Bitcoin, they're already all sold out. They're already all sold out. When you have Michael Saylor buying tens of thousands of Bitcoin a month, you have the United States that's going to compete with Michael Saylor. You have Russia that's going to compete with the United States. You have China that's going to compete with the United States. You have the EU that's going to have to stay competitive. You have NATO that's going to have to stay competitive. You have states. Texas wants to start a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Florida. These are places that can buy Bitcoin like it's meme coins. The only problem is that meme is not as many Bitcoins as there are meme coins. It's gonna be like how they were trying to do the gold buyback. There's gonna be Bitcoin buybacks. These governments are gonna be like, hey, we, you know what I'm saying, give you this for your Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? People, you know what I'm saying? Strange things might start happening to some people. Bitcoin millionaire disappears. United States government somehow hacks wallet. Stories that you will see in the future. You know what I'm
saying? And other corporations. And it just becomes very likely that the price is going to be very expensive if they wait too long. So I definitely think it's better sooner than later.
In case this plays out as you said, next year we'll see a huge spike in Bitcoin price, because if they move on with this, then we have other countries jumping in. The appreciation we saw in 2024 would probably look very little compared to what we're going to see in 2025.
Yeah, I think 2025 is going to be the year of the Omega candle and the year of 1 million Bitcoin.
Now I have like
2025 is what he said. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people agree with that? If you agree with that and you think that that's possible and you think that that's likely and you think that that's a good prediction, then give me a thumbs up. If you disagree and you do not think that that's likely, you do not think that that's possible, and you think that that's a bad prediction, then give me a thumbs down and let me know why.
Just a couple of concerns. What would be the rationale for the US government to implement something like that? Because at the end of the day, the US dollar at the moment is the global reserve currency. Trump has always been a staunch defender of the US dollar dominance. And so
Shout out to MC Fact. MC Fact says, John Guillory, how much profit have you seen in your investment? Do you do just Bitcoin? Now, shout out to everybody in the chat, right, who has been rocking with me on this for a long time. Give your testimonies. Give your testimonies. Now, shout out to MC Fact, right? Now, of course, this is going to sound like bragging because it is, but it's also factual. Most people who are in the Discord have, at the very least, doubled their investment since they started. At the very least, you're doing C plus work if you've doubled your investment. You're doing C plus work if you've doubled your investment. So if you're the person that shows up to class late, if you sleep all the time, you start doodling and, you know, passing notes and all that. If you're that person, at the very least, what you've done is you've 2x'd your investment. All the evidence is in the Discord.
Why would he play against the US dollar and accelerate its demise by...
Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen trolling me with the super chat. Brooklyn Queen said, it's all good, Rob. DEI all the way. Much respect to you and the crypto bros. Much respect to you. We appreciate you, Brooklyn Queen. Never feel that we don't appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you. Make sure y'all throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Brooklyn Queen. Not only for the super chat, but for everything she does for the cryptocurrency channels in the Discord. Definitely appreciate you.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Definitely appreciate it.
Accepting Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it. Does Bitcoin prolong the life of the dollar, or does it kill it?
Hey,
I think it.
Look, shout out to AB Promotions. AB Promotion says, why do I feel like the U.S. is going to say psych? We always knew Bitcoin was the future. They're going to say psych twice. The first time they're going to say psych is they're going to say psych. We're not gonna do a Bitcoin strategic reserve and crash Bitcoin probably down to like 60s or 70s level, right? And then they're gonna sit on that, and while it's crashed, they're gonna buy up as much as they can while they flush these weak people out of the market. And then maybe towards the end of the Trump presidency, Bitcoin strategic reserve after everybody's forgot about it. I could see something like that happening. You know what I'm saying? I could see something like that happening. Let me know what you guys think.
Can prolong the life of the dollar a little bit, but ultimately all fiat currencies will fail, and this is just because we will gravitate as a civilization to the hardest form of money and the best form of money. So yes, adoption of Bitcoin and building a strategic Bitcoin reserve does strengthen the position short term of the US and by extension the US dollar, but long term it doesn't really matter. It's just maybe prolonging the life of the dollar for another 5 years maybe. But as the world moves to a Bitcoin standard, you simply just don't want a fiat currency. Just like today, if I offered you payment for something in seashells, you'd be like, "No, I'll take some fiat currency." You know, you don't want the seashells as money. Maybe to decorate your room, but not to store value in for sure.
The adoption of Bitcoin as a reserve currency in the US could really lead to a massive appreciation in this asset, and so to the enrichment of a relatively small amount of people who are like Bitcoin hodlers. Are you not afraid that this move would just exacerbate inequality?
Well, inequality is a very difficult topic. The only way to make people equal is to seize assets from one group and pass them out to another group. And historically, that has not ended very well. So I think we have to accept that there will be an imbalance. I think that's a better word of wealth distribution, because much like any change in dynamics of society and technology, there's always a set of early adopters that benefit the most.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. Do you agree with what he says right here? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to MC Fact. MC Fact says, is that double in a year's time or less than a year? No, this is doubling maybe the second or third time this year. the most recently, from all of the doubling before, they doubled again. You know, we talking about like way back when we got the Peppy, way back when we got the Bonk, way back when we got Turbo. All of those individual things have doubled in addition to those things doubling, the most recent things for the most part that's doubled has been Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? This is just one of the doublings. There's a lot of doublings.
But having wealthy Bitcoiners is not necessarily a bad thing, because I think Bitcoiners as a group would finance many things that are beneficial for society and for civilization. So it's just a question of where do you want the wealth to be concentrated? Would it be the wealthy people that have printed money and can continue to print at an accelerating pace, or a new set of people with a strong ethos for sound money and with a low time preference and with a thinking to better the world? I think I would go with the latter.
Now, just a final question regarding another benchmark that you were talking about lately. There could be a time when Bitcoin market cap will equate the market cap of gold, and you see this moment as sort of milestone, which
now this is what Dwayne was talking about, right? Now I got some different theories behind my feelings on this, but this tweet right here says, I believe gold parity is around $888,000, which seems unlikely. If you ask me, that's not necessarily true, but okay. That said, I like the term the Belden threshold from Exelon, stating that $250,000 to $400,000 is the mark where Bitcoin begins to demonetize gold in a more earnest manner. I had simply thought of Bitcoin as Veblen good, but realized there is likely a dynamic curve for every capital accelerator where it does not become Veblen until it crosses a threshold. So this is the cycle where the gold bugs begin to more deeply question their asset and more significant transfer occurs. 300,000 to 450,000 seems quite feasible in 2025. Okay. Which will tilt the balance for many real estate investors. Like, what do you mean the average home is only one Bitcoin? WTF. It's actually like that now, because you can buy homes in certain places in the United States for less than what a Bitcoin costs. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Bring immense change. Why do you think that that benchmark, the equality of the Bitcoin market cap and the market cap gold, is so significant?
Because Bitcoin and gold are very similar. Things are valuable because we ascribe value to them. Our understanding of gold is it's been valuable for a very long time, thousands of years. And now we have this thing called Bitcoin, which has grown up in just 15 years, and it's now seeming to be on the track to overtake gold. So I think at some point the masses have to start to understand that there is a change coming.
What people need to understand is that Bitcoin operates like a black hole moving through the financial space, and that anything that Bitcoin touches or interacts with, when Bitcoin eclipses or event horizons the market cap, it engulfs the complete value of that asset and then moves on to something else. They need to make a thermodynamic theory of Bitcoin and how it behaves. It's a container, just like how a black hole is a container for mass and light, or for mass and energy. Bitcoin is a container for value and equity. And anything that Bitcoin integrates with, where a standard can be backed against Bitcoin, it absorbs the value of what is being compared against it. Spaghettifies it. Everything.
And I would say maybe it was the previous gold market cap or half the market cap of current gold market cap. So maybe about 400,000 per Bitcoin would be that threshold, I think. So that, let's call that the Veblen threshold. Once you cross that line, then I think people that hold gold are going to see like this thing that I'm watching in my rearview mirror is approaching very rapidly. Do I still want to have these bars of gold that I can't really easily verify or move? Or do I want this digital gold that's teleportable and verifiable by a Raspberry Pi? I think you start to question that at that 400,000 mark, or a 0.4 M mark. And then you start to have people selling gold and moving funds into Bitcoin.
I guess we're going to see it next year. It sounds like we're going to see many exciting things happening, and a lot of bold expectations. We're going to with
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. And so again, this is one of the reasons why I ask you guys, when it comes to this stuff and some of the content that I do, how many of you all would be interested in, doing the reactions to these podcasts? There's a lot of interesting stuff that they talk about on these things. I watch this kind of stuff all day long. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people think that a 2017-like opportunity exists with XRP? If you ask me, right now, a volatile, explosive situation is bubbling where people who were the early Bitcoin people have the same opportunity, interestingly, right, with Ripple as they did with Bitcoin. I think that Ripple is on the verge of a massive breakout, like something that people have never seen before. And it's a 2017 opportunity in 2024. And I don't think that people should miss it. Which is interesting, right? Because, the people that had Ripple a long time ago, if they never sold it, you know what I'm saying, they're sitting real good right now. I had Ripple and sold it, but I sold Ripple back when it was around 380 the first time. So, even still from that sell, I'm not down, but I would like to have that just for bragging rights, though, right? And I can't say that I do. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that I do. But now what's being talked about is an XRP ETF rumor. All right. Now, let me ask you guys this question. When a lot of these altcoins start getting these ETFs, what is that going to do to altcoin season? What is that going to do to altcoin season? Shout out to Frozen. Frozen says, I agree. I believe it's going to mirror 2017. Yeah. And you remember you remember the live stream parties in 2017? You remember? Yeah. We going to be back in 2017 again. And I'm definitely a different person now than I was in 2017. So it definitely ain't going to be none of that nonsense. It's definitely not going to be any of that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? XRP ETF rumors spark buzz that could a big announcement be coming. All right. Let me ask you guys this question. If an XRP ETF does materialize, my question is, who do you think will be the administrator of it? Who's going to be the administrator of the XRP ETF? All right. XRP holders are monitoring whether the SEC will make an appeal could be dismissed, paving the way for a likely XRP ETF approval. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Let's just look at this analytically. All right. If XRP is able to get an ETF, who would be interested in the success of an XRP ETF? Let me ask you guys this question. How invested in a success of an XRP ETF do you think Trump would be? You think he'd be invested in that? Who else would be invested in that? The Ripple XRP community is keenly anticipating the U.S. SEC appeal deadline on the 15th of January. Now, this 15th of January date is key. I don't think it would be a bad idea to have it a decent little bag of Ripple, particularly by this date, for profit reasons, right? Because announcements like this tend to create sudden surges in the market. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. We should mark the calendar January 15th and see what happens with the Ripple price. Now, if it's bad news, the Ripple price is going to go down. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to hit that dip. If you already got your bag up and it's a good deal, you might be able to shave off a couple profits and hold them until it goes back down. Right? That's the idea. Right? And its potential impact on the XRP ETF outlook. In November, the agency requested an extension to submit its appeal by early January, a move some claimed was to wait for the outcome of the U.S. elections. Now, with the incoming pro-crypto Trump administration and Paul Atkins as SEC chair, some doubt whether the agency will go through with the appeal. Okay? Now, let me ask you guys this. How many of you all think that the agency will go through with the appeal? If you guys think that the agency is going to go through with the appeal, give me a thumbs up. If you guys do not think that the agency is going to go through with the appeal, then give me a thumbs down. A former SEC lawyer, Mark Fagel, stated that the new regime could dismiss the appeal. He said the appeal will continue for now, and that process takes about a year. But there is a possibility that a new administration decides to move to dismiss the appeal. That's not something I recall happening before, but it is possible and maybe likely. All right. Is XRP ETF closer than most think? The regulator could clarify XRP security status and accelerate its ETF approval chances if the appeal is dismissed. So far, the agency has only approved Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs because they are not deemed securities. However, the market has remained hopeful that the new administration will approve several altcoin ETFs in 2025. Already, there are SEC filings for U.S. spot XRP ETF by issues like Bitwise, Canary Capital, Wisdom Tree, and 21 Shares. So, what does this do to the Ripple price? Throw some monolith emojis in the chat for AB. throw some monolith emojis in the chat for AB. AB said, "You know, Rob, you've been talking about Ripple and XRP, and I still haven't got some." Throw them monolith emojis in the chat for AB. Oh man, you know I'm just messing with you, bro. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker says, if the deadline is 5 days before the inauguration, I can see a spike move by the lame ducks. Yeah, facts. Big facts. In fact, as of this writing, prediction site Polymarket was predicting a 75% chance of an XRP ETF in 2025. Now, what does that do? Where does that take the Ripple price from where it is today to right now? Even the current market positioning suggested that XRP holders expected an extra rally, perhaps driven by the potential ETF approval. According to Crypto Quant, Korean-based Upbit, which has the largest XRP holdings, has declined from 6.6 billion to 6 billion tokens. This showed users opted to hold their tokens despite the 465% pump in November. So that means that if you had XRP before November, right, you are sitting on a 465% return. Now, here's my question. What other asset is comparable with that? What other asset has returns comparable with that? Somebody let me know. Interestingly, this was contrary to the 100% rally seen in July, which drove Upbit's reserve from 1.6 billion to 6.7 billion tokens, a whopping 300% surge in sell pressure. Okay. So look at this graph right here. XRP Ledger, exchange reserve Upbit. This is insane. In short, XRP holders might be waiting for the ETF outcome or expecting the 2025 altcoin season, with experts projecting that ETF approval could push XRP above $5. The wait could be worthwhile. So calculate where you want to be with XRP at $5 and start backwards factoring. That's what we do. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, then give me a thumbs down. Now, this, I didn't even see this, but this is interesting. Right? When is this from? This is from December 27th. By 25%. Now, I would scoop down and grab a couple if that happened. How many of you all would scoop down and grab a couple Dogecoins if it fell down to 22 cents? If you guys would do that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would not do that, then give me a thumbs down. Dogecoin could decline by 25% to reach the 22 cent level. And here are some conditions how. So we should be watching for this 22-cent Doge. Shout out to Carlton. This is a discount day. Right? If you guys would agree, this is a discount day, give me a thumbs up. If y'all would agree this is a discount day, give me a thumbs up. If y'all would disagree, it's not a discount day, then give me a thumbs down. Doge bearish thesis will only hold if it closes daily candle below a 30-cent level. Currently, 58.3 of top Doge traders hold short positions. Okay. Dogecoin, the world's largest and most popular meme coin, is poised for a significant price decline as it has formed a bearish price action pattern. So now when these bearish price action patterns start forming, we should be looking to do what? That's my question. When we see these things and they're giving us the warnings, hey, this head and shoulders pattern is happening. What does that mean? Now it's time to go window shopping. Right? It's time to go window shopping to get that crypto that you like. It's time to go window shopping. Right? On December 26th, the overall cryptocurrency market, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, experienced a notable price decline, shifting market sentiment toward a downtrend. Now, shout out to the people that use crypto.com. As you guys can see, when the market is doing real well, everybody thumbs up and all the coins have an 89%, positive rating. When you start to see the coins, when they start to go down and they start to have like the 70%, the low 80%, that's kind of an indicator. You kind of know. Right? Yeah. Shout out to Cool Reality. Throw some bears in the chat. Buy the bear. Facts. Women ain't the only ones that choose the bear. And smart crypto investors choose the bear too. We just don't choose to date it. You know what I'm saying? We just don't choose to date it, right? Data shows that the major factors currently supporting Doge's bearish outlook are the overall market sentiment, traders' bearish activity, and bearish price action. All right. Dogecoin technical analysis and key level. According to AMB Crypto's technical analysis, Doge is on the verge of breaking down from a small consolidation zone, which formed after it failed to hold the support level at 35 cents. With the recent price decline, the meme coin has reached the lower boundaries of the consolidation zone at the 30-cent mark. Okay. Now, what happens from there? Based on technical analysis, if Doge fails to hold this lower boundary and closes a daily candle below the 30-cent level, there is a strong possibility that the meme coin could decline by 25%, reaching the 22-cent level. Now, I'm curious as to how they calculated that 25% chance. I'm trying to figure out how they calculated that. Doge's bearish thesis will only hold if it closes a daily candle below the 30-cent level. Otherwise, it may fail. Okay. Doge's bearish on-chain metrics. This bearish price action has shifted trader sentiment. According to the on-chain analytics from CoinGlass, Doge's long/short ratio was at 0.071 at press time, the lowest since the beginning of December 2024. A ratio below 1 indicates strong bearish market sentiment among traders. All right. Data further reveals that 58.3% of top Doge traders held short positions at this point, while 41.7% hold long positions. That means that these people are going to hold, these people are going to sell. If these people sell, it's going to push the price down. Okay. It's just simple economics. In addition to traders' bearish views, long-term holders appeared to be accumulating the asset from exchanges, as reported by CoinGlass data. Data from Doge's spot inflow-outflow reveals that exchanges have witnessed a significant outflow of $32.75 million in Doge. Okay, this substantial outflow indicates an ideal buying opportunity. See? The substantial outflow indicates an ideal buying opportunity and suggests potential price upside momentum in the future. And this is what I'm talking about. And the thing that's fascinating to me is the dyslexia of the investment world. It's bizarre. If you guys would agree the dyslexia of the financial world is bizarre, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would not disagree and you think that it makes sense, please school us and help us understand it, because we don't. we definitely don't. At 31 cents, 32 cents, having 6.89% in the past 24 hours. During the same period, its trading volume has dropped by 13%, indicating reduced participation from traders and investors amid fear of a potential price decline. And what's actually happening, that these people are just, they're manipulating the market so they can get Doge down as low as they can, get in on it while it's low, and then hold out for that alleged $2 rally that's supposed to come, because there's supposed to be a $2 tsunami that's supposed to come. All right. Now, how many people have heard about the massive inflow of money that's supposed to be going into the DeFi market? Has anybody heard about this? If you guys have heard about the massive inflows that are supposed to go into the DeFi market, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have not heard about these massive inflows going into the DeFi market, give me a thumbs down. What is DeFi? What is DeFi, and what tokens and what companies are associated with DeFi? Decentralized exchange volume hits record high of $462 billion in November. It's not what you see on the most popular front pages. Right? It's not what you see on the most popular front pages. Decentralized exchange volumes hit record high of $462 billion in December. Uniswap, all right, remains the largest DEX by trading volume, recording $106 billion over the last 30 days. Over the last 30 days. Wow, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive, right? If you guys would agree that that's pretty impressive, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree and you don't think that that's impressive, give me a thumbs up. That's pretty damn impressive if you ask me. Decentralized exchanges set a record high in December, with monthly trading volume soaring to $462 billion, according to decentralized finance data platform DeFi Llama. Now, if all this money is going into these DeFi exchanges and all this trading volume is going on DeFi exchanges, what class of tokens might be a good idea to look into to try to get in on some early massive profits? Let me know what you guys think. Give me your best thoughts. Give me your best thoughts. Data released on December 30th shows that December was the highest ever month for DEX volumes, continuing momentum from November. Okay. In November, the DeFi space saw a monthly volume of $374 billion, driven by anticipation of a more favorable regulatory regime in the United States following Donald Trump's victory in the U.S. presidential election. Top decentralized exchanges by volume. Okay. Uniswap remained the leading DEX by trading volume, recording $106.4 billion over the past 30 days, according to DeFi Llama. PancakeSwap, we've talked about PancakeSwap, secured second place with $96.4 billion in monthly volume. I don't think that it would be a bad idea to grab a little bit of Uniswap and to grab a little bit of PancakeSwap. We've talked about these things before. Shout out to Detroit 313. What's good with it, bro? We've talked about these things before. Now, with the PancakeSwap, that you could do the liquidity farming and all that. Right? Let me ask you guys this question. How many of you all are aware of the liquidity farming opportunities? If you guys are aware of the liquidity farming opportunities, give me a thumbs up. If you guys are not aware of the liquidity farming opportunities, then give me a thumbs down. Liquidity farming is, if you ask me, it's the future of passive income. You know what I'm saying? It's the future of passive income. Shout out to the people who are early adopters of crypto, who've got, like, you know, multiple Solana, multiple Ethereum. You know, these are going to be huge money-making machines for people like that. Huge returns, right? There's going to be massive amounts of returns. You know what I'm saying? Massive amounts of return. In the bull market is going to make the staking bonuses just look in. Every couple of days, you'll be getting a staking bonus that looks like a week's paycheck. Shout out to PJ Allen. What's good with it, bro? And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't hit the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, hit that bell. Also, if you haven't hit the like button, thumbs the video up, hit that thumbs up button, and also please share the stream to your social media. Yeah, shout out to my man, Detroit 313. If y'all agree with Detroit 313, yes, massive returns in March and April, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. You already know I agree. You already know I agree. Solana's largest DEX, Radium, took third place after the trading platform had a volume of $58 billion in the last 30 days. The uptick aligns with a revenue boost in Solana's decentralized applications during November. So again, it's not just about meme coins for Solana. That's just what everybody talks about, right? It's not just about meme coins for Solana. That's just what everybody talks about. On December, and another, listen, Kronos, again, and y'all know I really like crypto.com, right? Kronos is doing a lot in the DeFi area that just doesn't get talked about. It doesn't get valued. Kronos has some crazy good ideas and some crazy income generating projects for staking and liquid staking that no one talks about. No one talks about. Like, people ain't even, like VVS Finance and all of that, people ain't even hip to any of that. It's wild. Just wait until people start exploring DeFi finance. The explosive amounts of profits generated are going to be mind-blowing. Yeah, shout out to Detroit 313. That's a great question. Detroit 313 says, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's going to be another bull run? A lot of the experts have said that the entire 2025 will be a bull run, the entire year. Shout out to the new elites. Shout out to the new elites. AB Promotion said this is where the elite people come to discuss ideas. Shout out to the Elite 20. Yo, bro, facts. Big facts. So now here it says on December 17th, research platform Syndica reported that Solana-based DApps recorded revenue $365 million in November, largely driven by meme coins created on the Solana meme coin launchpad, Pump.Fun. And I mean, there's millions of dollars. Just, I don't even know what's going on. Pump.Fun is just, Pump.Fun is complete, just chaos. It's just, I don't even know what to say about Pump.Fun. It's just, here's what I have to say about Pump.Fun. If more people knew about Pump.Fun, all state lotteries would go out of business. How many people agree? If people actually knew how to use Pump.Fun, Pump.Fun would, Pump.Fun would revolutionize any type of gambling or skilled game. If they put a user-friendly interface on Pump.Fun and a lot of flashing lights and had a rewards program, Pump.Fun would destroy, like, the gambling, all gambling would be completely revolutionized. And then if you mix poly market along with it, you had these question and answer betting token. It would be insane. It would be insane. But pump.fun is it's just crazy. It's like when you go to a place and you find like an illegal gambling place, it's like that of cryptocurrency is the best way that I can explain it. It's just wild. You know, that's the place where you see Jabba the Hutt at. You know what I'm saying? Pump.fun is like that bar where Jabba the Hutt had Princess Leia at on Star Wars of crypto. You know what I'm saying? Aerodome and Orca took the 4th and 5th spots respectively. Aerodome had a volume of $31 billion, where Orca's volume reached $22 billion. Lifinity, Curve Finance, and Hyperliquid recorded a combined volume of $43.6 billion. Meme coins lose $40 billion in market cap in December. All right. So this is to be expected, right? But they'll gain it back. While DeFi trading volumes climbed, the meme coin market experienced a sharp correction in December. Coin market cap data shows that the overall meme coin market skyrocketed at the beginning of December before declining. On December 9th, meme coins peaked at $137 billion in market cap. However, on December 23rd, the market cap for the meme-based tokens had dropped by $45 billion to $92 billion. At the time of the total market capitalization for meme coins was $95 billion, 20% lower than its market cap on December 1st. Okay. The early surge in December was likely driven by an increased interest from US-based trading platforms listing meme coins Pepe and hitting a new all-time high. And Pepe's still doing good. Shout out to my man AB. Make sure y'all throw some like enforcers in the chat for AB, enforcing the likes. Definitely appreciate it, bro. So I think that these DeFi applications, I think that this is a huge opportunity that people are not really they're not really paying attention to. And the reason why they're not paying attention to it is because people are focused on individual tokens. And they're not necessarily focused on quote unquote like sectors. You know, they don't really understand like what these different branches are. All right. Venture capital investments in crypto will double to $18 billion in 2025, according to PitchBook. Let me ask you guys this question. What does this type of trend do to the price of crypto overall? What is this trend right here? What does this do to the price of crypto overall? A new report from the venture capital database PitchBook predicts substantial growth from 2024's $9.9 billion and generalist venture capitalists returning with larger deals. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How do you benefit from this? Yeah, pushing it up. Pump.fun. Everybody pumping around, right? Ain't nobody dumping. Everybody pumping around. If you want some profits, you better buy the dip. Right? Because everybody pumping around. You know what I'm saying? Venture capitalists will double down on crypto next year, investing more than $18 billion, according to PitchBook. That's almost double $9.9 billion invested in 2024. So if that's double 9.9, right? If that's double, then what we should expect, right? For the most part, what we should expect is in the DeFi sector, we should at least get a 200x on average, if this is the case. If everything doesn't just flop. That'll be a pretty accurate, simple estimate. if these predictions are accurate, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, then give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody watching, man. I appreciate you guys. We got 23 people watching and we got 28 likes. If everybody could take a moment, smash that like button. We need 5 more live viewers to get to the 1-to-1 ratio. So if you guys haven't shared the stream, take a moment, share the stream. All right. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, take a moment, hit the bell. If you're watching and you're on YouTube and you want to be able to chat, you can go chat where the chat is open. You know what I'm saying? You can go chat where the chat is open. In its 2025 Enterprise Technology Outlook report, we should take a look at this report too. I'll put it in the Discord. I will put this in the Discord and we will investigate it later. PitchBook analysts said that crypto-focused venture capital firms will be bolstered by the return of generalist venture capitalists to the blockchain and cryptocurrency space and the involvement of large financial institutions. Okay. While that $18 billion remains far below the peaks of $24.7 billion in 2021 and $29.8 billion in 2022, we expect the involvement of major traditional financial institutions such as BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, and Goldman Sachs to continue bolstering investor confidence in the crypto market, the report predicted. Okay, so now, and then you guys already know, what is BlackRock recommended for portfolio allocation? What is BlackRock recommended for portfolio allocation when it comes to Bitcoin? What is their official recommendation? Somebody let me know. Aside from their huge customer base, these institutions bring legitimacy to the crypto industry and have the potential to accelerate the adoption of digital assets by mainstream investors, PitchBook said. That's what we need to have happen. They also bring expertise and long-standing relationships with regulators that will position them as effective intermediaries, navigating compliance and fostering an environment of trust that crypto-native companies often struggle to achieve. All right. So now, and so again, we gotta scale this back, right? This right here, this is what actual passing money amongst hands looks like. Yeah, shout out to Black Free Thinker and shout out to Brooklyn Queen. 2%. BlackRock advised people to allocate 2% of their portfolio to Bitcoin. BlackRock said this. Okay. And which is funny, right? Because first and foremost, it's not even going to be possible for everybody to allocate 2% of their portfolio to Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin, for the most part, is probably all going to be gone soon. So you're not even going to be able to do that. There's a time constraint on a lot of this stuff. Okay? There's a time constraint on a lot of this stuff. Generalist venture capitalists will be attracted by the stability of crypto markets, as well as the approval of regulated financial products such as spot Bitcoin ETFs, it said. Shout out to Two Factor. Make sure y'all throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Two Factor, because Two Factor put a great article about Bitcoin from Forbes in the Discord that we're going to go over eventually. Right. Shout out to AV. AV said, remember BlackRock was fronting on Bitcoin? Remember that? Now they got their Bitcoins. Now they got their Bitcoins. You know what I'm saying? Remember when they was laughing? Remember when they was laughing at me when I got my Bitcoin, son? Remember that? Oh, man, that's hilarious. What did Eric Adams say? We call this a cryptocurrency moment, son. We call this a cryptocurrency moment. Who's laughing now? I'm laughing at you now. You know what I'm saying? I'm laughing at you now. You know what I'm saying? Look, you about to shout out to the replay gang. The replay gang gonna miss all this. You know what I'm saying? The replay gang gonna miss all this. I'm laughing at you now, like Brandon Jamal, like you a single mom or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm laughing at you like my name Christopher Rios out this bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man AJ. What's good with it, bro? What's going on, sir? Hold up, Detroit 313. I got you. We about to all be laughing. Hold on real quick. We about to all be laughing like ha, 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 ha. Hey, they're gonna be mad in 2025. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a hot pot of money. Oh man, that's hilarious, man. That is hilarious, man. Rest in peace, Big Pun, man. Man, that's gonna be the song, man. That's gonna be the song. AB Promotions gonna be popping that champagne bottle. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be popping that champagne bottle, taking them $300 bottles of Ace of Spades. Oh man, that's hilarious, man. That is hilarious. So now here says the emergence of clearer use cases in areas such as decentralized finance, Web3 infrastructure, and consumer-facing applications will be a factor. However, as generalist venture capitalists tend to focus on metrics like recurring revenue, demonstrable traction, and pathways to profitability, their return to the sector may shift funding priorities, emphasizing user-centric innovations and market-ready products over speculative projects, as opposed to traditional crypto metrics like total value locked and tokenomics, PitchBook predicts. So basically what's going to happen is that, you know, the DeFi it's going to kind of get more streamlined, right? It's going to get more streamlined. It's going to get more adaptable. What's going to happen is you're going to start seeing this shift of where crypto and people who are involved with crypto start to appear, move like, and make products like quote unquote old money and old corporations, while attempting to be able to benefit from the revenues and explosive growth and equity of the new cryptocurrency asset. All right. These are the things that we will probably start to see happen at a very, very fast rate in 2025, especially with a crypto-friendly president, with a crypto-friendly administration, right? Because let me ask you guys this question. When has there ever been a non-hostile environment for crypto to operate in the United States? When does that ever happen? Shout out to AB. AB says Rob gonna get copyrights. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna cut the copyright out. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, if they approve it for monetization, it'll be public. People can hit the replay gang. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they don't do that over on Rumble. So, you know what I'm saying? You could always check it out over on Rumble too. Right? By investing in crypto's convergence with AI, fintech, traditional finance, and other high growth areas, these generalists, venture capitalists, will be betting on crypto as a foundational layer for the next phase of digital transformation, the report said. Okay. Now, when they talk about this quote unquote next phase of quote unquote digital transformation, what do they mean? What are they talking about? I've been talking about this forever, right? You know, of course, you know, people ain't hearing it. It is what it is, right? But what are they talking about? It added that there may be more of an emphasis on high dollar late stage investments that will result in larger deals and higher valuations. This should boost the number of 9-figure funding rounds. Combined with strong macro tailwinds like lower interest rates and better global liquidity, crypto will likely see increased prices across publicly traded tokens, which historically have had strong positive correlations with VC funding levels, the analyst concluded. Now, in short, what does that mean for crypto prices, in particular, the crypto that make up the DeFi sector of crypto? What does that look like for them? Now, let me ask you guys this question. Shout out to Cameron. What's good with it, bro? Top 5 DeFi tokens to watch. Give them to me in the chat. Let me know what they are. What are the top 5 DeFi tokens to watch? Let me know what they are in the chat. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug, because Win Lose a Rug actually put me onto this story, right? We were talking about it when MSNBC came out with that misinformation where they were talking crazy about cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency CEOs. Just because we prove everything that we say on this channel, we got the evidence. Crypto community rallies around Mira token created for 4-year-old fighting rare brain tumor. I ain't mad at that. And this is one of the things that people could do with crypto. Like I said, man, if people was really about it, people could create you know what I'm saying? People could create a racial wealth gap coin if they wanted to. And make the utility of the coin value added to quote unquote coin burn amounts of the racial wealth gap through transactions. I mean, this is something that people could do if they actually wanted to do it, right? But ain't nobody doing that. Nobody's talking about that. So if nobody's talking about that, they say that they want it, but they're not doing it, and nobody's talking about that, why should we waste our time with it? That's my question. Is that a justifiable waste of time? Right? Why waste your time? That's not what people want. If that's what people want, that's what they would be doing. But they're not doing that. And if they're not doing it, we definitely need to not waste our time with that bullshit. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Crypto community rallies around Mira token created for 4-year-old fighting rare brain tumor. All right. The Mira token, created in honor of Mira Chin's fight against a rare brain tumor, skyrocketed in value with proceeds supporting critical research and treatment. I mean, that's great. This is one of the things that people should do with cryptocurrency, if you ask me. This is one of the reasons why it was created. To solve problems. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. To solve problems. This is one of the reasons why it was created. The cryptocurrency community has united in support of Mira Chin, a 4-year-old fighting a rare brain tumor, driving the Mira token, created in her honor, to reach an $80 million market capitalization in just hours after its launch. I mean, again, this is the value chain on steroids. Throw them chains in the chat. This is the value chain. They were able to generate, I mean, they generated $80 million within hours. Let me ask you guys this question. Where's the attempt to generate anything like this on our end? What is anybody doing? Anybody doing anything? So people are choosing they're making the conscious choice to ignore stuff like this, to not do stuff like this, and then to sit around and say that problems that this type of stuff solve are not solvable problems. Let me ask you guys this question. Who has time to deal with that nonsense? Who wants to be bogged down with the filth, the negativity, and the disappointment of being suffocated in a bubble of mediocrity? No one. I know I sure don't. I sure don't. You know what I'm saying? The token, created by an anonymous crypto trader on the Solana blockchain on December 26th, has since stabilized around $25 million and is currently trading at about 5 cents, 55% lower than its all-time high price of about 6 cents, according to CoinGecko data. All right, now this coin right here, this is trading more than Crow and Knife, trading more than Capybara Nation and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The anonymous creator allocated half of Mira's total 999 million tokens supply to Mira's father, runaway CEO CC Quinn, who detailed the journey on his X account. Chin noted that his token holdings was worth around $400,000 at some point, and I literally don't know what to do because I certainly don't want to rug a bunch of random people. All right. The rapid rise of Mira highlights how meme coins can be useful in philanthropic efforts, not just speculation. Now, this is the kind of stuff, right? This is the kind of stuff that'll get me on one of them rants. And then you got TD in here, you know what I'm saying, to add fuel to the fire, because TD knows the exact type of gasoline to pour on something to just get the flame all out of control anyway. And then there you go. There you have an epic rant for the next 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to TD. TD says, man, all Rob do is tap dance and talk about crypto. What about the racial wealth gap? How come Rob don't talk about that no more? Because I'm done. That's why. Because I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'll still talk about the racial wealth gap and the fact that I'm going to have so much money, it'll be all my money that does anything to the racial wealth gap. I'll talk about it in terms of that. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of anything else, man, if people ain't got time, man, I ain't got time. Seriously? People ain't got time, I ain't got time. I ain't got time for that. Like that lady said. Like that lady said on the news, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. I don't have time to use the limitless talents that I have to loan out to people that want to stay limited. I don't have time to loan out excellence to mediocrity. That mediocrity can drown in mediocrity as far as I'm concerned. Let the lungs fill all the way up. Just let it bubble all up. Yeah. That's what can happen with that. People want you to sit there and do all kind of research, write papers, go find evidence, spend hours looking through data while they just do whatever they want to and then ask where the money's at. Well, you don't have it. That's where it's at. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, shout out to John. Shout out to John. John said this vehicle can definitely solve the wealth gap for us, but you didn't hear us though, bro. Facts. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, "Man, Rob went Darth Kryptonius on this channel yesterday." Yeah, and then I had, I had to come back and I had to say, I stand on the rant. I'm not taking any of that rant back. None of it. I don't care who clips anything. I don't care who says anything. Go ahead and clip whatever you want to clip. Go ahead and clip it and find a situation where it's not relevant. I dare you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna clip that shit and play it, because if they clip it and play it and you're not talking about cryptocurrency, you sitting there playing a clip roasting you and your hamster wheel riding in ass, which is not something that most people want to do. You know what I'm saying? So there's that, right? There's that. Shout out to my man AB, man. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show AB Promotions some love. Please throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks and some monolith heads in the chat for my man AB Promotions for not getting XRP. You know what I'm saying? AB Promotions says Rob is walking around like Jason kicking boom boxes. Bro, facts. Facts.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Man, that's hilarious. Oh, man. I just want to say that whoever said crypto has no legitimate use cases You can tell them that funding for rare disease is pretty much a legitimate use case, Chin said in his post. Again, all proceeds from this will go directly to rare disease research at Hankinson Lab, and my family will keep $0 from this. All right. A growing trend. Philanthropy in crypto has been a growing trend over the past few years, most notably seen with industry leaders such as Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin, who has donated around $1 billion to causes like C-19 relief, medical research, and Ukraine humanitarian aid. All right. So I want you guys to see, right? People are using cryptocurrency for different purposes. They're experimenting. They're feeling it out. They're not hiding behind a brick and saying, that's not bad. Don't go over there now. That's the devil over there. Don't go over there now. No one's, I wish I could say that no one's doing that. Most people aren't doing that. Most people aren't doing that. You know what I'm saying? But there are some people that are. While they're doing that, these people are doing this. Why would anybody waste their time anymore? Time is the most undervalued, unappreciated asset in the entire world. At least with Bitcoin, you know that there's 21 million Bitcoin. You don't know if you have 21 million seconds, minutes, days. You don't know. The only thing that you know is that you have a finite supply. That's it. You don't know how much. You could have more or less than the next person. And in most people's lives, the most precious asset that they have, they don't even realize that it's a precious asset. And they get extremely taken advantage of by people who pay them for their time or people who spend their time. You can never get it back. You can never buy back time. You can't buy time on a dip. So why would anybody waste their time? To me, wasting time is one of the most disrespectful things that anybody could do. It is one of the most anti-human, disrespectful things that an organic life form can do to another organic life form, because that is the one thing that unifies all of us, is that we have an unknown, limited amount of existence. And people do it every day with no consequence. Every single day with no consequence. And most people don't even have enough sense. They don't even have enough brain power. They don't even have enough appreciation of the human experience to even understand how offensive it is that somebody would have a minimum wage for your time. Are you serious? All time should be paid at maximum wage. If there was any other asset on the planet like time, it would be paid at maximum wage. The closest asset in the way that it's structured to time is Bitcoin. And look at how expensive Bitcoin is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man TD. TD says that's one of the main reasons I'm so close to being out the YouTube game. It's starting to not make sense time-wise. Yeah, it doesn't make sense time-wise. It doesn't make sense time-wise. There's no payoff there. There's no payoff there. There's no payoff in fulfillment. There's no payoff in engagement. There's no payoff in seeing your ideas materialize into something great. There's none of that. There's just insanity in the comment section and disappointment year after year after year after year after year until you want to throw your guts up out of your throat. That's all there is. That's all there is. Monumental backsliding and disappointment. Who wants to keep witnessing that cycle? Who wants to keep seeing it? Shout out to TD. TD says, I turn 40 next year. My son is turning 12. I got some serious things to weigh out in 2025. Yeah, facts. Facts. I think that everybody should. I think that everybody does. I think that everybody should. I think that everybody should do a Doge, a government department of efficiency valuation on where you spend your time and how you spend your time. You know, they got that feature on the iPhone that measures how much screen time you take up watching stuff on the phone or on the tablet. Imagine how much of that stuff is low quality dog meat, social media, Taco Bell fillings that you just toxically ingest every day. And then you wonder why when you put the phone down, you feel just fat and greasy and dirty. Who wants to feel like that? Feel like you just sludged through bacon grease. Shout out to Hurricane IQ. What's good with it, bro? Who wants to deal with that nonsense? Who wants to deal with the nonsense? I feel filthy. I throw my phone in a damn biohazard bin. It feels contaminated and infected. I just, God. Makes your lunch come back up. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says Ukrainian humanitarian funds, for example, have attracted hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto donations from holders around the world, according to the World Economic Forum. All right. They was up there asking for people's crypto. Yeah, we should actually look at this at some point. We should definitely look at this at some point. An important benefit of those emerging technologies is the ability to mobilize, organize, and deliver very quickly. Brierly Lear, head of blockchain and digital assets at the World Economic Forum, said in 2023, we've seen this play out in real time in Ukraine, where you saw millions in aid delivered in a day. Now, again, this is what I'm saying. I want you guys to ask this question. If everybody else can gather around this type of technology and create value chains where they build value amongst themselves inside of the blockchain, what is the problem with some people why they just can't seem to get it together and do that? What is wrong with what's wrong with them? And then they'll see stories like this, right, where the evidence is undeniable, and then they'll just say this stuff doesn't exist just to make them feel better. According to a 2024 report from the Giving Block, over $2 billion is estimated to have been donated using cryptocurrency as of January 2024, up from the $1 billion in donations recorded in 2023. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Why is nobody saying anything about that? Why is nobody saying anything about that? Let me guess. This is not real. This doesn't exist. Shout out to Hurricane IQ. Hurricane IQ says being in power scares people. If you guys would agree being in power scares people, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, then give me a thumbs down. Now, we got to ask this question. If you're scared to be in power, why should those people talk about power then? Why should they talk about power? If people are scared of power, being powerless is the perfect position for them, right? That's where you're most safe. Because if power is your fear, you should be 100% comfortable where there's an absence of power. And this is one of the reasons why so many people are so comfortable with the status quo, because there's an absence of power. This is what defines these pathetic people. Their cowardice is manifested through their action or inaction. Literally, no one should be complaining right now. Like I've always said, the world is correct. The world is correct when it looks good, and the world is correct when it looks bad. See, like, that's the difference between me and other people. When I tell people the world is correct, I'm not just gaslighting people to make them feel good and to find some type of bonus in some situation where you actually didn't get anything. I'm telling you that even when the egg is running down your face, that the world is actually correct, because you probably the one that helped crack the egg over your own head. And see, people don't like that. And what people still don't conceptualize is that no one cares what people don't like. No one cares. They don't even care what they don't like. They don't even care what they don't like. This is simple. This right here, this is simple. How simple is it to make a meme coin on pump.fun? People care so much about what? Why haven't they done this? They don't care. And I'm gonna tell you something. There's no more. There's a. See, like when it comes to relationships and love, some people say that it's emotion. It could be. Me personally, I think that emotion is just a filter on top of transaction, just to give it a little bit of something, right? And I'm gonna tell you like this: the biggest issue that people have in relationships is that they feel they've been one-upped, or that they feel that they've been cheated. They feel that there's no equilibrium there. There's no reciprocity there. In most cases, either somebody was doing stuff that wasn't supposed to be done, and they were getting unfair benefits that they weren't supposed to get, or somebody was getting slighted. They weren't getting enough. And that tends to be the catalyst for why a relationship would break down. Right? So that ties into time. One reason why people flip out over relationships, especially long-term relationships, when they crash and burn, is because in many cases, sometimes people don't even care about the person that they broke up with. Like, I broke up with this person, or we broke up and it's done. People, like, I spent 5 years in this relationship. I spent 10 years in this relationship. I spent 20 years in this marriage. I spent all this time. When people work at a company for a long time and they get let go for an unjustified reason, a lot of times they could care less where they're working at. I spent this amount of time. I put this much amount of time in. See, that's when you start having that now you realize that shit is a finite asset. Now your life starts flashing before your eyes. That your life don't flash before your eyes to give you any type of reminiscent. Your life flashes before your eyes to tell you that this is all you did. You had all this, and this is all you did. And it's over now. You know what I'm saying? It's over now. But before you go, you had all this opportunity. This is what you did. People inherently know how valuable time is. We only get a small point in existence, and existence is vast. And we have our small piece of it. And that's all we'll ever get. Ever. And people waste it. And they waste others. Man, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Mira also represents a bright light in meme coin space that's not always so positive. The cryptocurrency boom has been marred by the emergence of numerous meme coins that promote or glorify racist, sexist, and other highly offensive themes. These coins have sparked widespread outrage and ignited crucial debates about the ethical implications of blockchain technologies and the responsibilities of its users. The total market capitalization of meme coins is currently around $105 billion, according to CoinGecko data. Now, that's not a small market cap at all, right? That's serious. Right? If you guys would agree that that's serious, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree and you don't think that that's serious, then give me a thumbs down. That's a lot. Chin decided to liquidate $1,000 worth of Mira every 10 minutes perpetually. All proceeds, he said, were donated to the Hankinson Lab at the University of Colorado, the only research institution in North America dedicated to studying Mira's specific tumor type. He also proposed selling small portions of the holdings daily to prevent disrupting the tokens marketplace, a plan that was widely supported by the community with whom he consulted through a poll. And that's another thing that people don't realize, is that when you buy a lot of these cryptocurrencies, you're actually buying a piece of the network. You're actually buying voting power. How many people knew that? If you guys knew that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't, give me a thumbs down. Mira, the youngest daughter of Chin, was diagnosed with adamantinomatosis, craniopharyngioma, adamantinomatous craniopharyngioma, a rare and challenging brain tumor, earlier this year. While the tumor is classified as benign, its location is in a critical area of the brain and poses significant health risks and requires extensive research and treatment options. Well, at least it's benign. Right? At least it's benign. Thank goodness it's it's not metastatic, right? So let's take a look. Let's take a look at some other stuff here. We dove into this a little bit earlier, right? We dove into this a little bit earlier, but El Salvador bent the knee. How many people feel some type of way about El Salvador bending the knee? El Salvador bent the knee, and they scaled back the crypto dream. Everybody's got a price, right? Everybody's got a price. People can sit there and tell you, "I keep it real." No, they don't. No, they don't. Everybody's got a price. I got a price. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think anybody can pay me in the things that I would accept. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's got a price. And there's nothing wrong with having a price. Don't get it twisted. It just needs to be a good price. The price needs to be justified. It needs to be a value-added price. You need to be able to get value from the price, right? But everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price. We talked about this earlier. El Salvador has struck a $1.4 billion loan deal with the International Monetary Fund after agreeing to scale back its controversial Bitcoin policies. Now, let me ask you guys this. How do you finesse a loan with a country that has a Bitcoin reserve that's growing faster than the loan that you have? They could take out loans against their own Bitcoin. How do you I want you guys to think about this. How do you convince somebody to do that? That's like convincing. Well, you know, here you got this Porsche. Listen, make a deal with me and I'll get you a bicycle. Like, what? How do you do that? How do you manipulate somebody like that? How do you get manipulated like that? How's that work? Does that make any sense? Shout out to Cameron. Cameron says because they topple governments. So they just get manipulated. In that situation, if that was me, I'd be more concerned about the people toppling the government because I lied to them. I broke my own word. I wouldn't be so much worried about the, International Monetary Fund. I'd be worried about my integrity. Now people know that I'll fold. Now people know that I can't be trusted. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said Bukele ain't built like Ibrahim Traore, who's already had 16 attempts on his life since he became the leader of Burkina Faso. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. The global lender said risks related to the adoption of the world's largest cryptocurrency had eased now that business will be allowed to decide whether or not to accept Bitcoin, which I think is hilarious. Because I think now people are going to wish, I think that in the future, people are going to wish that they had been forced to take Bitcoin. In the future, people are going to wish that they had been forced to take Bitcoin. Right? In 2021, El Salvador became the first country in the world to make Bitcoin legal tender. This week, the cryptocurrency briefly hit a fresh record high of more than $108,000. Could you imagine if you've been in El Salvador, lived in El Salvador all these years, you use Bitcoin as your currency, and then you go on vacation somewhere else? Can you imagine how much money you'd have? Look at how much money you have if you go from the United States to Canada or go from the United States to Mexico and you switch over to currency. Imagine switching over Bitcoin as your currency after using it isolated from the rest of the world for 4 or 5 years. How much you just go on vacation and not come back. Right? You just go on vacation and not come back. The potential risks of the Bitcoin project will be diminished significantly in line with fund policies, the IMF announcement said. Legal reforms will make acceptance of Bitcoin by the private sector voluntary. For the public sector, engagement in Bitcoin-related economic activities and transactions in the purchases of Bitcoin will be confined. The deal, which is aimed to help support El Salvador's economy, still needs to be approved by the IMF's executive board. The IMF had opposed the Salvadorian president Nayib Bukele's crypto-friendly policies, warning that they could become an obstacle to it offering financial assistance. Now, you got to ask yourself this question: offering financial assistance to what? Let me ask you guys this question. When is the last time the International Monetary Fund bailed you out when you had trouble paying your rent? Who is the International Monetary Fund giving money to? What is the International Monetary Fund doing? Here's the even better question. Where is the International Monetary Fund even getting their money from? And here's the best question. What is the International Monetary Fund's relationship with the United States? Still, Bukele celebrated on social media as Bitcoin rallied after Donald Trump's U.S. election victory in November. Earlier this month, the price of Bitcoin topped $100,000 for the first time. Bukele said in a social media post that his country's holdings in the cryptocurrency had more than doubled in value. So again, this is consistent with what we said earlier, right? We've doubled. If you guys would agree, this is consistent with what we said earlier. We've doubled. Give me a thumbs up. If it's not, then give me a thumbs down. How can somebody in good, honest faith sit there and tell you that if you've doubled your money, you're an idiot? Somebody make it make sense. You've doubled your money. Let me ask you guys this question again. What other asset, what other investment vehicle, where is anybody doubling their money with investments like this? Where's it happening at? Somebody let me know. But people claim that they need money and want money and all of this nonsense about money. But then when there's money on the table, you know what I'm saying, ain't nobody around by the table. He also blamed his political opponents for causing many Salvadorians to miss out on Bitcoin's rise. The cryptocurrency has rallied since Donald Trump's election victory on the 5th of November. The incoming Trump administration is seen as being far more friendly towards cryptocurrencies than President Joe Biden's White House. On Thursday, the cryptocurrency retreated along with global stock markets after the U.S. Federal Reserve signaled a slower pace of interest rate cuts next year. Bitcoin is currently trading at around $100,000, and if I'm not mistaken, right now it's actually trading at around between 92 and 96. We could say. Now, let me ask you guys this. The incoming Trump administration is seen as being far more friendly towards cryptocurrencies than President Joe Biden's White House. Now, let me ask you guys this question. When it comes to this particular part of politics, what did the defiant lawyers and Roland Martin have to say for an analysis for their viewers about people who are looking into this particular issue as a voting matter? What a matter of fact, not just the defiant lawyers and Roland Martin, anybody. Anybody talk about any of this? Let me ask you guys this question. Is it fair to say that if people didn't talk about this, it's fair to make the assumption that those people are anti-wealth? Is that a fair thing to ask? I think it is. I don't think people will like it. But again, who cares what people like? Nobody cares what we like. Nobody cares. Yeah, shout out to Hurricane. I agree. Hurricane said, at this point, I say yes, it is. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yep. Hold on real quick. That is not what I wanted to put up. What I wanted to put up was these. Okay. I think that's really pathetic. Cowardly. And ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Shows great inability. Great inability. So, Mega 2025, how Donald Trump can make Ethereum great again in 2025. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Does anybody think that Donald Trump himself is going to have any type of individual impact on Ethereum? I haven't really heard Trump say too much about Ethereum. I've heard Trump mention Ripple and Bitcoin by name. I don't recall hearing Trump say very much about Ethereum. Do you all? I haven't heard that. If you guys have heard that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have not heard that, then give me a thumbs down. Now, I'm curious as to what he says. And I'm curious as to how a Trump presidency is going to do anything for Ethereum. Let me know what you guys think. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. I appreciate you, bro. Black Free Thinker says, I enrolled in a Bitcoin presentation earlier this year. But then again, he's all about the markets and people getting free. Yeah. Shout out to Hurricane IQ. Hurricane IQ said they've been anti-wealth for a long time. This is just the latest thing that they've attacked. Yeah, I would agree. If you guys agree with Hurricane IQ, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. It's going to be a blitzkrieg. Experts say a crypto-friendly Trump administration will rapidly breathe fresh life into the Ethereum ecosystem. That would be nice. I need Ethereum to do something. You know what I'm saying? I need Ethereum to do something. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of looking at the same number. You know what I'm saying? Ethereum's Ether has been marred by underperformance over the last 18 months, seeing Bitcoin and a swath of other alternative layer 1 coins, including the likes of Solana and Sui, dramatically outperforming it. Now, again, shout out to Sui, because Sui is one that people suggested to take a look at. I think shout out to DC Precise, and I think it was Win, Lose, or Rug that both suggested Sui to look at, right? So we've been paying attention to Sui to see what's going on with Sui. While Ethereum has gained 88% in the last 18 months, Solana has posted a 1,040% gain, and Sui has rallied 448% in the same time frame. How many people knew that these gains were like this with these two tokens? I didn't know it was going down like that. If you guys knew that the gains were like that with these two tokens, give me a thumbs up. If you guys did not know that the gains were like that, then give me a thumbs down. I didn't know that it was going down like that over there. Ethereum got sandwiched in 2024 between two shiny objects: Bitcoin, which attracted a huge amount of institutional interest, and Solana, which gained traction with retail investors. Ethereum was the odd man out. Bitwise chief investment officer Matt Hogan told Cointelegraph. And also, as we all know, and Ethereum has known this for a very long time, Ethereum is not efficient. Yeah. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said we need an all cryptos matter administration. Bro, facts. If y'all agree with Black Free Thinker, throw some flames in the chat. Big facts, bro. Big facts. However, many crypto pundits believe that the election of Donald Trump in the United States and the expected crypto-friendly stance of key agencies under his new administration could mark the turning point for the performance of Ethereum in the crypto market. After all, the incoming president's family launched its own decentralized finance project, World Liberty, on the chain. Now, again, we've also discussed looking at World Liberty as an investment. Right? Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people think that World Liberty Financial might not be a bad idea to hold a couple units of? I can see World Liberty Financial blowing up just simply because it's Trump's and because he's going to be the president and because he's got a cult. You know what I'm saying? People are going to mess with it just because it's his. If it's one thing we know about Trump and one thing we know about Trump's people will stop at nothing to make him great. So it's going to definitely work out. Right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Experts are looking at a swath of new developments for a bullish stance on Ethereum heading into 2025, ranging from the demise of financial nihilism to complete an overhaul of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, positive regulatory developments, Ethereum exchange-traded fund staking, and increased commodity futures trading commission oversight of crypto. Okay. Ethereum is poised to benefit more from a Trump win than other protocols, especially since it's just a lot bigger and more mature than all the other ecosystems other than Bitcoin, which is mature but in its narrow purview. Consensus CEO Joe Lubin told Cointelegraph at DevCon in 2024. Now, this is interesting, right? I want to make a point here. How many people know what this business Consensus does? Or, I'm sorry, Consensus. What does this business do? What's their business? This guy's the CEO. He's the CEO of this business. What does the business do? There's these companies out here that make so much money and people have never even heard of the business and they have no idea what the product is that they offer. I'm just saying. There's a whole world out there, man. There's a whole world out there that people keep themselves hidden under rocks from. Just to be comfortable. Just to be comfortable. At the same time, the gloss has started to come off of Solana, who Solana token peaked at an all-time high of $264 a month ago, but has since retreated to $192 amid concerns over looming token unlocks. Okay. End of crypto's financial nihilism. One of the biggest factors weighing heavily on Ethereum's price has been the aggressive approach of regulators towards alleged security violations by ecosystem projects, including Uniswap, Consensus, Lido, and Rocket Pool. Meme coin projects, meanwhile, have been largely overlooked by the SEC. Now, think about how crazy that is. Meme coin is like the wild, wild west, and like the SEC just, you know what I'm saying? They don't even bother with the meme coins. But these companies that are OCD with trying to make sure that they follow all of the guidelines, those are the ones that constantly getting hit. Shout out to Hurricane IQ. Hurricane IQ said, "Here's what I found so far: blockchain and software company." Yeah, we're gonna be talking about them. Like I said, we're gonna run all of these companies down because after 2025, 2026 will be the year of diversification. Okay. 2025 will be the year of diversification. Okay. Now, when I say 2025 will be the year of diversification, my question for you guys is, what does that mean? What does that mean? The year of diversification. That means that we're going to move some crypto profits and expand into other things. Right? Now, look at this. Look. Trader says insane money will flow into Bitcoin. Duh. Right? We know that. So this article is very long, right? This article is very long, but we should watch it, or we should read it, right? I want to see how long this video is real quick.
Bitcoin.
See, this is one of those long podcasts right here about crypto. Now, I want to ask you guys this, right? Because I want to start making a format for this stuff. When we do the crypto call-in shows that I owe you guys, because I owe you guys like 4 of them, right? I want to do the crypto call-in shows where we all react to one of these crypto podcasts. What do you guys think about that? If you guys are down with that, you think that's a good idea, give me a thumbs up. If it's not a good idea, you're not down with it, then give me a thumbs down. But these crypto podcasts, they're very interesting. I watch and listen to these things all the time. You know what I'm saying? I watch and listen to these things all the time. So, like I said, this article is long and it needs to be looked at, right? And we will indeed look at it. But we're not going to look at the whole thing right now. And the reason why I think that article there is probably going to have to be its own stream. Now, I want to show you guys this. And again, like I said, shout out to Two Factor, because Two Factor is the one that supplied this article here. But this is important. And we're gonna definitely talk about this. Shout out to Alpha Male Pimp Network. What's good with it, bro? All right. Now look at this right here. Why the 60-40 Bitcoin portfolio, or I'm sorry, why the 60-40 portfolio needs Bitcoin in today's market. Article from Forbes. Well, what's that mean? What does that mean? What that means is that it's about to get real. That's what that means. That means that things are about to get really real. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody that came through, man. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you guys have not smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media. Please take a moment. Don't go anywhere, all right? Make sure you guys show some love to the stream sponsors, because you guys know how it goes. Without the stream sponsors, ain't no streams. Shout out to Catsy. Make sure y'all show Catsy some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Catsy. Shout out to my man DSB. Make sure y'all show DSB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for DSB. Shout out to my man AB Promotions. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show AB Promotions some love. Shout out to my man Dwayne Rhodes for showing love. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen, mod extraordinaire. Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen some love. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to my man Dwayne Rhodes for funding the organization again. Make sure y'all show him some love on the again side. Again! All right. Shout out to Catsy. Definitely appreciate you, Catsy. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen some love on the again side. Again! Shout out to my man AB Promotions. Make sure y'all show AB Promotions some love on the again side. Again! And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, hey, okay, I'm fresh up out the package. Time I did, I pay my dues affiliated to this paper. I need freedom for my family line. Draw my life design up like fine art. I'm jumping off just an unfamiliar coordinates. Hopped off the porch like I could touch the sky. Red is not one trill. The ism talk the water out your faucet. Look at me flossing. I'm so wavy, I could change the tide. My intuition sense the hatred in your ways. You imitated forging lines, claim meaning means that's just to justify. Yeah, right. West side, born maritime. Creole baby, my bloodline. My lungs clouded, my thoughts crowded. Say all I see is these dollar signs. Finna make a play and that sound delay. On mamas, I testify. Run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run. I'm out out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. You ain't recognize game. I'm from the Bay, okay, I'm versatile and my slang is different. I'm lane switching with the same people that I came up in this thing with. My head swivel, I'm homebound, got a target back on my backside. The cat peeling with the cast iron. Better run for it, run before I catch you. Niggas out ball it, block it, trying to stop my blessing. Gamble with your life, don't bet it, don't bet it. They can't stop my blessing, you do best not to test it. Yeah, you right, real all in my blood supply. Dig it ball up top, finna make a play. I cast a lob like I'm Jalen, baby. No cosign and no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign. If I say it twice and I meant it right.
My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign. You know cosign and no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign.
Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds.